it is very important in GS1 and PS2. GS2 में your governance, especially with respect to government initiative in nutrition with respect to health, woman health and child health and everything, very important. GS1 में society में you can put it. बाकी ऐसे वगैरह में तो it is always useful. So before starting this, let us talk first about the concept of hunger. Hunger. Basically, by hunger, it depends upon people to people. Largely, we can say absence of food. At this point of time, I do want to ask one thing. Hunger. Why you think it is a problem? The absence of food problem. Why it is there? Do you think that we have more population, less than the food, or what is the issue? Do you think it's a core issue that leads to hunger? क्या लगता है आप लोगों को? Lack of infrastructure, high import, storage, poor storage. Okay, we have food but not nutrients. Exactly, that is the issue. And another issue is poverty, lack of awareness. Shivani, okay, social evils, yes, post-harvest, okay. So basically, we can understand there are numerous issues ranging from economy to polity and everything. But I want to discuss a very particular theory here, a particular theory by Amartya Sen. Amartya Sen, a Nobel laureate in economics. This person is referred almost everywhere, including Supreme Court judgment. Supreme Court took exclusive reference to Amartya Sen to make its point. When Supreme Court can use Amartya Sen, then we can of course use Amartya Sen. Amartya Sen has given a theory called failure of exchange entitled exchange. Failure of exchange entitlement or entitled exchange, whatever may be the case. Fee theory, it is called. Basically, this theory emphasizes, for example, a laborer. For a laborer, the entitlement is labor. So this theory says hunger as a problem comes not because of lack of food. It says that we have sufficient food to feed every mouth, every stomach. The problem that comes is when the labor is unable to convert its entitlement, that is labor. For a laborer, the entitlement that person has is labor. When that person is unable to convert this labor into food, and that is the problem. Basically, he is saying that it is a governance problem. We have sufficient food for everyone, but because of misplaced priorities, we are not empowering our citizens. He has emphasized a lot on empowerment. He said, if I give you food, doesn't matter. Rather than giving food to somebody, empower that person to buy his own food. Empowerment is focus, and Fee talks about the same thing. It's a process when, because there could be numerous. मान लेते हैं you are a laborer. Your entitlement is labor. So you can do labor. But if there is no jobs in the economy, then you cannot convert your labor into food. Or if the government has misplaced priorities, so you cannot convert your labor, numerous reasons, for food. That's failure of exchange entitlement. And if we combine this with Food and Agriculture Organization, it is a United Nations specialized body. I hope everyone understands the term specialized body. सबको समझ में आता है this? What is United Nations specialized body? Anyone who has no idea here? ठीक है. So FOA is a United Nations specialized body. This body has also emphasized in its hunger report simply. It says that we have sufficient food for everyone's need. But we do not have sufficient food, but the problem is political management. It exemplifies into two ways. One, a divide between the developed countries and developing countries. Developed versus developing. Developed countries corners a large portion of the world resources, even though they may have or may not have, doesn't matter. Because of their numerical, because of their technology strength and money strength, they corners a large portion of world resources. Second problem is rich versus poor. For example, I hope you have seen the weddings. Imagine how much food is wasted in weddings. आप देखिए weddings में people eat some, throw some out. There's so much wastage in the wedding food. So आप कितने you can feel a lot of stomach out of it. But because the rich have too much, they throw it out. The poor does not have sufficient. You're getting the problem. If I combine these two theories, the basic argument boils down to that we have sufficient food for everyone. The problem that we have is we are unable to take that food from farm to the table of everyone. This management, taking the food from the farm to the table of everyone, is the problem. यहाँ तक hunger पर debate is clear. बाकी साइड इश्यूज तो आपका सबके सही थे, देयर आर न्यूमरस रीजंस, आपका इकोनॉमी डाउनटर्न होता है वगैरह वगैरह। इसमें थोड़ा सा आई विल आल्सो टॉक अबाउट टू अदर इश्यूज दैट आई ऑफन कम्स इन द पार्ट ऑफ गवर्नेंस, दैट इज वुमन एंड चाइल्ड हेल्थ। देन वी विल कम टू द न्यूज़ टू क्रिएट अ बैकग्राउंड हियर। देखिए, व्हाट इज द बिगेस्ट प्रॉब्लम इन वुमन हेल्थ इन इंडिया? द बिगेस्ट प्रॉब्लम इज, कोई बता सकता है व्हाट इज द बिगेस्ट प्रॉब्लम इन वुमन हेल्थ इन इंडिया? Nobody from my class. Is there anyone from governance? The biggest problem is IVI problem. That is iodine, vitamin, and iron. This is the biggest nutritional deficiency found in women in India. IVI problem. Only thing we require to give them is iodine, vitamin, and iron. Or these are cheap alternative. For example, iodine, I believe everyone knows we get it from salt, the Tata salt and all. That is fortified salt. In that we have put iodine. That problem goiter, I hope you know, that problem is no longer in India because we integrated the wheat salt, so we integrated the iodine in the salt. So you get iodine from there. The thing, next two things are vitamin and iron. इसके लिए it does not require big things, small tablets. You do not require some radical transformation. I always say when I teach that we do not need supermans. This is a common statement I always make. We do not need supermans. All we need is small initiatives that is ultra wide ramifications. One of them is providing iodine, iron and vitamin tablets. Government do take initiative at some point. शिवानी, यू गेट दिस पीडीएफ, मिलती तो है, आपने पोर्टल पे देखी नहीं है? पोर्टल में वीडियो के नीचे लिंक होता है हमेशा। हाँ, उसमें देखिएगा। आफ्टर दिस क्लास कल तक हो पाता है बिकॉज दे अपलोड द वीडियो ना, तो उसमें टाइम लगता है। तो बाय मंडे आई सजेस्ट एवरीवन एक्सेस दिस। तो बाय मंडे यू विल गेट वीडियो होती है, उसके जस्ट नीचे यू गेट दिस पीडीएफ आल्सो, इट्स अवेलेबल देयर। ओके, सो हाँ ठीक है। द बिगेस्ट प्रॉब्लम इज iodine, you got vitamin and iron. Small thing is tablet. This is something you do not require too much investment. You do not require to build mega infrastructure. You do not require big parliament amendments. No, small initiative. Our tablets, which I believe not more than 2 to 3 rupees per person it will cost. 2 to 3 rupees tablet per person, especially women baat karte, per woman 2 to 3 rupees per woman per day. Bas, that's it. And there will be radical transformation in the health of women. But question comes is, who will do this? Very simple question. If government can get vote, if politician get vote anyway, देखिए इसमें एक प्रॉब्लम आती है, if they empower you, then how will they ask the vote? If they empower you, you have water and everything, then you are not much dependent on the government. That's the problem in polity. You see that voting percentage in Western countries less vis-a-vis developing countries like India. Why? Because people are not much dependent on the government. उन्हें फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, the government changes, ज़्यादा कोई radical transformation does not come because government may be anything. They keep on getting health, free and quality health. For example, US, UK, everyone has free quality health, free and quality education, basic services are always given. So they does not care much if the government changes or not. Big policies are different thing. Otherwise, they कुछ खास फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Small integrated. Germany free education, US free health. Oh, sorry, UK completely free health, national health services. No, they are very good countries. Or not, these Nordic countries are good in that. So you get the point that I want to convey to all of you is we do not require mega reforms. I believe a lot of you people have this psyche of Masiya. I will become IAS, I will change it. No, PDF stuck nahi kiya, I'm not writing anything right now. As a PDS, you are saying, yes. PDS is a good initiative, Amber, but the problem is again, PDS में बहुत problems है. Especially this ration walas, they take away the. हमने discuss किया था I believe few months back in PDS about that take home ration scheme. We had discussed that. Do you remember? उसमें government is a very good scheme. हमने discuss किया था डिटेल में, वहाँ से you can cover. So I was today simple. देखिए all these I'm discussing, then we will understand the gravity of the news matter. So first thing we understood, the woman में biggest problem is iodine, vitamin, iron. Out of this iodine they get from salt, vitamin, iron, small tablets, not a big transformation, radical transformation, small tablets, 2 to 3 rupees per woman per day. A very small expenditure, I believe government can bear. But for misplaced priorities, you have 10 rupees. By that 10 rupees, you can give that to health of the people. 10 rupees you can spend on road, 10 rupees you can spend on expressway, or 10 rupees you can spend on your elections. This is the part, buying MPs and MLAs are more important. It's a governance problem. When you can make your government in spite of giving nothing to the people, high unemployment, high malnutrition, India is doing bad in all socioeconomic indicators, still the government comes in power. Koi bhi government, doesn't matter the color. Then what it signals? It signals that you do not need to work for the people. Why to work for the people when they anyway will vote you? So getting the point, it's a very severe governance problem. It's a very small solution. So what is the solution here? To provide these tablets, ASHA workers and Anganwadis. सबको पता है ना, आशा वर्कर्स, the health, the foot soldier of health in India, and this Anganwadis, the nutrition, children nutrition specialists basically. A problem we have is government does not neither provide them proper salary nor on time. They do not get proper incentives. Most important, they do not have infrastructure. A lot of Anganwadis are running in dilapidated structures. So you have more time to invest in Neta buying MP MLAs, but less time in giving these Anganwadis proper facilities. I'm telling you, just empower them. If government focuses on only Ashas, provide them proper training, proper incentives, and same Anganwadis, I'm guaranteeing you in the same global hunger index in which government criticized. India's ranking was 107 out of 121 countries. It is worse than all the countries of South Asia except Afghanistan. Imagine a country like Pakistan, which our media demonizes every day. Even that country is better than us in case of hunger. So by criticizing this index, that this is a foreign index, trying to defame India, nahi bhai, it will not work. Work on the causes. आप किसी को criticize करने से क्या फर्क हो जाएगा? Because same indicators are being used to judge everyone. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि पाकिस्तान के लिए they made new indicators, for Bangladesh they made new indicators. Same indicators are being used for everyone. Everyone is getting the point. So we need to, and you can write this directly in your answers. If there is any question on health or something, or in global hunger, directly write this. That incentivizing and working on Ashas and Anganwadis will bring us out of this 107th rank. It will lead to radical transformation. Of how we can do, for example, corona vaccination we had. In corona vaccination, I believe the Prime Minister did not went and the Chief Minister of the states. They did not go to every house and administer the vaccine. These were these people, these people, these ASHA workers in Anganwadi. They were the foot soldier who administered vaccine along with the nurses and all. But whom poster you get in every state in India? किनके पोस्टर लगे होते हैं? Thank you फलाना, thank you दिखाना for providing us vaccine. जैसे वो खुद लगाने गए थे. You get the point. If we put that much money that we have put for praising the Prime Minister for free vaccine or the Chief Minister for free vaccine, if we put that much of money in empowering these two people, then India would not be having 107th rank. I hope everyone is clear after here. Then I will come to the child issue. Okay. So let me summarize this entire thing. First, we understood that hunger is not because of lack of food. Hunger is because of political mismanagement of taking food from farm to the table. For that, we have Amartya Sen's theory and FOA report. First thing. Second, we understood that women which is a big indicator of nutrition in India, we have three problems: iodine, vitamin, iron. Out of which iodine can get from salt. Vitamin and iron ke liye we can have tablets and all. Very cheap, very, very cheap solution. To do that, for example, spreading awareness and all, you will require ashas and anganwadis. But to empower them, we require proper salary, incentives, infrastructure. Okay, this is the conclusion about the child issues. The biggest problem in child issue is again the woman. The problem that we have in India is this economic surveys analysis that women in India either bring their pregnancy at a very low weight or they do not gain sufficient weight. Let me put it here. Okay, the problem that we have in case of child nutrition. Child may please everyone remember few things. There is a term called infant. Sorry, infant, and the other term is child. They are two different terms. Infant is up till, any idea kab tak hota hai? Newly born to find number. Up till what age we consider a fetus infant? Yes, bilkul sahi daman 1 year. From 28 weeks in pregnancy to 1 year. This is a time you consider the infant. Child is 1 year to 5 years. This thing. So according to the analysis that was done, that's why we have such a bad rank in this nutrition index, and along with National Family Health Survey also. Why we have such bad performance? Because the problem we have is women in India, either they begin their pregnancy at low weight or they do not acquire sufficient weight during pregnancy. These two reasons are direct indicators, according to the analysis, that 7 kgs, the average weight gain by Indian woman is 7 kgs, which according to WHO, World Health Organization, another specialized body of United Nations, according to this, it should be around 12.5 to 18 kgs. This should be the weight gain average, in between somewhere. But average woman in India gets 7 kgs. It is way less than the required one. If I take the upper limit as 18, so you can say less than half. And that's the problem we have, because when you begin your pregnancy at low weight or you have it does not require sufficient weight, so what happens with this? You get a stunted child. What do we mean by stunting? Abhi batayenge. Stunted child means a person, child has low weight and low height, basically undernourished child, and that child, it has been found that a child who is born undernourished and within 1 year, if you provide them proper facility, fine. Otherwise, it impacts their entire life. Remember the nutrition within first year and to a large extent within 5 years. Primarily first year and large 5 years. This nutrition help you throughout your life. If you get proper nutrition within this year, you will be more healthy. More healthy means you will attend school more. More attend school means you can easily study. But if you have low weight, low height, it means you are unable to get education because you will get ill more, to more dropouts, and also because your mental development will not be as required. So, clear the issue that we have in child health in India, the critical question of whom we can blame this. देखिए, it's a modern day problem. इसमें एक चीज I always say that morality, what you consider right and wrong, morality changes over time. The same way standards of beauty changes over time. There used to be a time when beefy girls, beefy, the healthy one, the fat one, they were considered as the standard of beauty in the entire Europe, medieval Europe I am talking about. But now we have this zero figure culture, and that is a problem. The problem that has been found, it lies in society. How we always blame government, fine, that is we should do. But there is also a blame on the culture. The culture of this zero figure that has come in. Both males and female mate is found. For example, male में gym वाला जो culture आ गया है, it's a damage. Gym में everyone try to achieve this 6-pack app, 8-pack apps, and this is a problem क्या होती है? You have no fat. Everyone try to go for no fat. Problem. Remember, the fat in your body works like a cushion. The way you have airbags in a car. Similarly, the fat in your body protects your organ. It cushions it. For example, you jump. When you jump, your organ collides. But if your body within inside has fat, then the collision will not damage your organs. And that's why you see a lot of news aati hai. Daily there is a news that some actor has died gymming or something. That's the problem. You stretch your body and reduce fat to zero. Nahi karna chahiye. Keep sufficient fat. Overfat is also bad. Up same goes with women. कार्डियक अरेस्ट, ऑर्गन डैमेज इज वेरी कॉमन. इतना ज्यादा स्ट्रेस नहीं करना होता बॉडी को. जीरो फैट तो बिल्कुल ही नहीं. कीप सम फैट इन योर बॉडी. तो वुमेन में प्रॉब्लम क्या आती है? इन इंडिया द प्रॉब्लम इज अराउंड द वर्ल्ड इज जीरो फिगर कल्चर, एंड यू कैन ब्लेम दैट टू बेबो. बेबो, आई बिलीव एवरीवन नोस, शी बिकेम द आइकन ऑफ द जीरो फिगर कल्चर. आपको पता है हु इज बेबो? Yes, Karina. She became the icon of this zero figure culture, and that's the problem. आज के समय में the standard of beauty that you have in case of woman is petite and long, a height with petite body, and that's wrong, very wrong. Because of this, there is eating. It's a very severe problem, chronic problem है ये. A lot of people. हाँ विनम, डू हेल्प. आई एम टेलिंग यू, फैट इज वेरी एसेंशियल कंपोनेंट. और फैट आपको आई थिंक साइंस में पढ़ाया जाएगा दैट व्हेन योर बॉडी इज लेस ऑन न्यूट्रिएंट्स, कई बार होता है you आप खाना नहीं खा रहे, कुछ नहीं खा रहे, तो योर बॉडी स्टार्ट ब्रेकिंग द फैट फॉर दैट. फैट इज अ वेरी कंसंट्रेटेड सोर्स ऑफ एनर्जी. काम आता है आपकी बॉडी में. ठीक है. एनीवे, तो अब द प्रॉब्लम दैट वी हैव इन केस ऑफ दिस विवो वाला कल्चर, दिस इज ईटिंग डिसऑर्डर. इट इज अ वेरी कॉमन अकरेंस नाउअडेज, स्पेशली इन अर्बन एरियाज. अ लॉट ऑफ वुमेन हैव ईटिंग डिसऑर्डर्स. वो खाती हैं बट दे ईट फूड विच इज नॉट प्रॉपर न्यूट्रिएंट. सब कुछ खाना होता है सो दैट योर बॉडी गेट न्यूट्रिशन. इफ यू ईट अपार्ट, कुछ खा लिया, फॉर एग्जांपल यू डू नॉट ईट कैरेट्स और दिस एंड दैट, because of this your body get basically your stomach get filled but your body does not, because of which the problem you have is low weight or does not acquire sufficient weight. So clear, it's a cultural problem also. We need to change this standard of beauty. अगर नहीं करेंगे तो this problem will always be there. Apart from the government problem, the government problem I discussed, the iodine, vitamin, iron वाला problem. Clubbing that with nutrition, sanitation. Clear all the issues in case of I have discussed almost exclusively everything on nutrition. कोई भी question है please ask. Abhinav, I think previous month, I believe I discussed that India has become world poverty capital according to World Poverty Clock. World Poverty Clock के मुताबिक India is the world poverty capital. We are worse than Africa. उसमें बहुत सारे reasons है. Government is directly to be blamed. Okay, it's their responsibility to protect India from these kind of standards. Anyway, तो यहाँ तक clear है. तो I discussed a lot of things on nutrition. चलो अब आते हैं news. So you have covered the background. In this background, we have to study these things. Let me rub it out first. Okay. So the report was published, Global Hunger Index. The whatever we have studied is the background. In that background, understand this. The Global Hunger Index, India's ranking has been declining to 107. It is worse than all the countries in South Asia except Afghanistan. Afghanistan is 109. We are 107. We are 109. Baki sari countries are better than us. And Sri Lanka, I believe, is the best one. So all you have to remember, this is for prelims. These two things you need to know for prelims. UPSC will directly ask. Whatever we discussed earlier was mains. This is prelims. Prelims, so you need to remember what is Global Hunger Index. Basically, it is published by Concern Worldwide. These are international body or NGOs type, and Wildlife Hunger Excellence. World Hunger Excellence. These two institutions together publish this index exclusively every year. Well, every year they largely publish this index. It is published at 3 levels: global level, regional level, and national level. So it evaluates a nation's performance in hunger at 3 levels. Just a second. It evaluates a nation problem in hunger at 3 levels: global, regional, and national. And it also aims to push the world towards sustainable development goal, the zero hunger by 2040. Okay, SDG. Everyone, please remember the 19 goal of SDGs. 1979 जो भी है देख लेना. ठीक है, remember all these goals. Go Google mnemonics. Some mnemonics you can find in SDG. Remember all goals of SDG and remember SDG versus MDG. Initially, we had Millennium Development Goals, the standard of socio-economic development that has to be achieved from 2000 to 2015. So its time got over in 2015. So SDG has started from 2015 to 2030. After 2030, we will have new goals. The purpose of this to socio-economically uplift. The Global Hunger Index also work toward sustainable development. Okay? All these 3 points are clear. Who publishes them, at what frequency, and at what levels. Okay, next, this is also you have to remember for prelims. Very important. You need to remember the definitions here. First definition is global hunger index is based on 4 indicators. Number 1 is undernourishment. What is undernourishment? Undernourishment means share of population with insufficient calorie intake. We understand everyone from calories, how much calorie you take. So a minimum insufficient. If your body requires, for example, 2000 calories, and if you are taking less than this, then you are undernourished. You are taking less calories than required. Remember child stunting. What is child stunting? Child stunting means low height for their age. Child stunting, wherever you hear this word, it means that the kid has low height vis-a-vis their weight, and it is a direct result of the mother getting pregnant at low weight or do not getting sufficient weight during their pregnancy. In both cases, it is high chance the child will be born stunted. Okay, child stunting. Next, child mortality. I think सबको समझ में आता है. Child means up to the age of 5 we discussed. So child mortality means the number of children who died up to the age of 5. Child wasting. Remember this word wasting. Wasting means low weight for the height criteria. Low weight for the height criteria. And all these criteria, apart from government support, starts at pregnancy. That's why government gives too much focus on pregnant women, because the way the pregnancy is carried out ultimately determines what would be the nutritional level, height, weight, and the future of that kid will be. So all 4 categories are clear. Please remember them all. What is undernourishment, what is child stunting, what is child mortality, and what is child wasting. Directly they can be asked in UPSC prelims. ठीक है, थोड़ा आगे बढ़ते हैं. A news I told you. What was the news? The news was that India has been put in serious category with a GHI score of 29.1, which is ये score याद रहे fine नहीं रहता, it doesn't matter. Or just remember that India is 171 out of 121. That is it. Look at other performance. Sri Lanka is the best performer with 64. Nepal after that. Bangladesh after that, and Pakistan after that. We are just give me a second. Let me have a water. Okay, so India's performance. India's performance is better than only Afghanistan, which is at 109. So do not remember all these positions. Just remember that India is 107 out of 121, which is worse only, which is better than Afghanistan only. Now, why we are discussing this news? Because recently it was published, the government of India criticized this news as a news trying to defame India. They say everyone is sitting to defame here. Anyway, so Vivek Gabroy, he's a member of Prime Minister Economic Advisory Council. What they do, I don't know. I don't know whether they do anything. क्योंकि अगर वो कर रहे होते तो demonetization नहीं होता. So that was sarcasm. Do not take it at heart. Vivek Gabroy. So he has recently published a comprehensive criticism, of course, from the government side. कहने का logic यही है. पर अभी ना वो हमेशा रहे हैं. In entire South Asia, Sri Lanka has always remained very good in terms of socio-economic indicators. Chaos is political. देखिए फिर मैं बोलता हूँ फर्क समझिए. एक political chaos has nothing to do with governance chaos. Governance chaos का मान लेते हैं entire government of Sri Lanka fails. वहाँ पे political chaos था. That is the top leadership was to be removed. अभी मैंने आपको एग्जांपल बताया ना, डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज में पीपल आर नॉट वेरी enthusiastic about voting. Why? Because they know it doesn't matter which government comes in power. They still have best of health free of cost, education free of cost, their water, sanitation, everything is available. तो गवर्नमेंट बदलने से कोई खास बदलाव नहीं आएगा उनकी जिंदगी में. ऑफ कोर्स पॉलिसी चेंज विल बी देयर, तो इतना फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. Clear? That was a political chaos to remove the top management, to remove the leadership of the country. वो एक अलग बात है. So Vivek Gabroy, what he has argued in favor of the government to provide a criticism. One thing he has said, the problem with this index is it confuses between hunger and nutrition. The name is Global Hunger Index. But if you look at the content, the 4 criteria are undernourishment, child stunting, child mortality, and wasting. कहीं पे भी hunger नहीं है. Hunger means absence of food. Undernourishment means same. You are eating the food, but your body either is not receiving the food or you are eating skewed food. Means you are eating some kind of food and leaving other kind of foods. So that's different. Nourishment के क्या reasons हो सकते हैं? As I discussed, you are eating sufficiently every day. Two times meal you are taking, but you are unable to absorb the nutrient out of it. Maybe you are ill, or maybe some internal problem, or you are eating a food which is not sufficient for all calories or sufficient for all intakes. So that could be the reason. That is his first criticism. That this index is convoluting or confusing between hunger and undernourishment. According to him, it should be called as Global Nutrition Index rather than Hunger Index. Getting the point, he's saying that India में हर व्यक्ति के पास 2 day square meal है. मुझे नहीं पता इनको ये बात कौन बता के गया. I have no idea who has told him that in India everyone get 2 square meals, means morning and evening meals. पता नहीं, I think होता होगा कोई 2 square meals a day. That is his argument, but I don't believe this. हर किसी को तो नहीं मिलता है. There are a lot of households who are unable to get food. That's why in India currently suicide rate has increased. Currently in India में suicide rate has increased. More than I think 20 lakh something people, 20 crore something people have come below poverty line. The people who we uplifted above poverty line in so many years during this regime has gone below poverty line. In this, you have direct blame on demonetization. फिर मैं बोलता हूँ देखिए, these all are linked. I'm not teaching economics here, तो वहाँ पे मैं बताता the India's economic downslide starts with demonetization. The Corona and Ukraine war is addition to that. But the government is basically saying that Corona and Ukraine war is the reason. नहीं भाई, your demonetization started the decline of India's economy. Corona and Ukraine worked as an addition to your stupidity. That's why if you see in this government never praised demonetization, कभी भी नहीं, because they know it's a out and out stupidity. Kind of subsidiary. Of course, they augmented the cost, but they are not the self-creator. It started by demonetization first. As for example, you had 100 rupees. I took out 50 rupees first. Then comes the Corona Ukraine. It took out 50 rupees also. So you became a beggar. But if I had not taken the 50 rupees, then in spite of Corona and Ukraine, you may be having 50 rupees left. तो बात समझ में आ रही है? First criticism is clear, everyone. This nutrition versus hunger wala issue. ठीक है. So first criticism that he has given of the indexes, that this index is confusing between hunger and nutrition. They are different. Second thing he has said, वो मैं बता चुका हूँ, it is not appropriate to call it hunger index, call it global nutrition index. That will be better according to him. Second thing that I believe is, second thing is this small sample size. It says a country with 140 crore people, you are having a small sample size of 3000, which is highly insufficient. Which I also agree it is insufficient. It should be somewhere around आपका लगभग 30 लाख के आसपास तो होना ही चाहिए था, 3 to 30 lakh. That could be a better sample size. ठीक, agree करते हैं, sample size is small. This is a genuine point of criticism. ठीक है, अब आते हैं थर्ड पॉइंट ऑफ क्रिटिसिज्म पे. बराबर एक चीज होती है, ऑल सैंपल साइज, ऑल सर्वेज जो होते हैं ना, दे आर वेरी स्मॉल. आप जैसे आप देखते हैं ना, ये न्यूज में देखा होगा, यू सीन दिस ऑन न्यूज, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ इंडेक्स दे पब्लिश, पॉपुलैरिटी इंडेक्स दे पब्लिश ना, हु इज द मोस्ट पॉपुलर लीडर इन द वर्ल्ड, ऑल दीस इंडेक्स, उसमें भी सैंपल, दैट आल्सो हैज अ वेरी स्मॉल सैंपल साइज, बट दैट इज समथिंग गवर्नमेंट डज नॉट क्रिटिसाइज. When they brand some people as the most popular leader in the world based on their own small sample size, then they nobody criticize them. So selectivism है, but ठीक है, genuine point है. लिस्ट से ही बाहर है. इसमें देखिए, इसमें one thing that I would like to add is sample size small or big does not impact much if it is a genuine sample size. This is a trickery that a lot of media houses play. If they want to promote a leader na, from whom they are getting, you know, the maths always work. For example, this after the media houses from whom they get ads and all, and if they want to work for that leader, what they do is they carry out a survey in which they keep a good sample size, they use good methodological standards. What they do is they get skewed people. मान लीजिए 3000 people I survey, all were poor, or 3000 people I survey, all were supporter of particular government. मेरे हिसाब से तो that person will be the world's most powerful man. Okay, but that is not genuine. What we need to see is whether this 3000 is a genuine sample or not. Means they have literally took a few people from upper class, lower class, rural, urban. If the sample is genuine, then the outcome may not be very much disturbed. Point is clear to everyone? Surveys में बहुत खेला जाता है. A lot of agencies plays with surveys. वो survey में nobody goes into methodology. किसी को पता ही नहीं होता. उसके लिए you have to be statistician. जो होते नहीं लोग. तो they play with surveys. किसी से पूछ लिया and बना दिया survey. And they say, देखिए, we have asked 1 lakh people, but all were supporter of particular people. Anyway, so two criticism. First criticism is you should replace the word hunger from nutrition, because hunger gives a wrong orientation that there are people dying out of hunger in India. He said people are not dying out of hunger in India. People do not have proper nutrition. First thing. Second thing he has said is that the sample size is small. Third thing, which I believe is not very important criticism. Second point is very good. Third point is not very good, but anyway. In this sample survey, they use questions. In questions, for example, the question is, your household ran out of food because of lack of money or other resources. The key word is ran out of. Ran out of means you have no food left. When I ask you whether you ran out of food, it means ran out of. You have no food left. But when they ask this question to the people, of course, they will translate them. So the Hindi translation of that question goes is, आपके घर में भोजन की कमी हो गई. The key term is कमी हो गई, which basically means declining. No food is different. For example, today I eat 2 kgs. Tomorrow I eat 1 kgs. So in this answer, Hindi wala, I will say yes. But in English wala, I will say no. So getting the point, because of the translation issue, the meaning change, the answers change. Clear? Everyone getting this? But इसमें फिर एक बात आती है, when UPSC cannot do proper translation, how can you blame them? Every few years UPSC has this problem. They basically all questions are written in English, then they are translated in regional language. A lot of time UPSC commits this mistake. When UPSC can commit, then you ask these people. ठीक है, तो यूपीएससी करती है कई बार, the English translation means something, the Hindi translation of the same question means something. People mark that answer and they get the wrong answer. ऐसा कई बार होता है, a lot of time it happens. तो इंग्लिश बायसनेस है, तो उसका तो नथिंग मच वी कैन डू, ठीक है। तो जैसे इट हैपेंस यूपीएससी में कई बार हुआ है। तो अब नाउ आई हैव टू टेल वन थिंग। हाँ, इस अब द प्रॉब्लम दैट वी हैव इज, देखिए दिस रीजन इज नॉट वेरी सिग्निफिकेंट बिकॉज the same translation they are doing for everyone. ऐसा तो नहीं है they will be asking Pakistani this question in English. Of course they must have translated that in Urdu, they must have translated that in Bengali for Bangladesh, in Singhali for Sri Lanka. तो ऐसा नहीं है that they are specifically targeting your country, they are translating for everyone. तो बेसिकली पता है ये क्या होता है, इससे ऐसा होता है फॉर एग्जांपल when you want to, आप चोरी सीना चोरी वाली बात है, when you have got red handed ना, तो you start making excuses. I believe this excuse may, I believe this is the right of the government to criticize, very clear, they have done the right thing by publishing a counter article, no doubt, लेकिन इससे कुछ होगा नहीं. If we really want to work, then we need to empower ashas and anganwadis. Just do this, and midday meal also at there. Only three things: empower our ASHA workers so that they go to women, tell them that you need this tablet, you can get the tablet from this hospital for free, government hospital. Provide all those tablets in government hospitals for free, and provide and ask those government hospitals to train their ASHA workers to take those tablets to every woman in the households, in rural areas especially. Second, we need to empower Anganwadi so that the small kids who are coming to Anganwadis, they get a basic education and nutrition. And third, midday meal. Midday meal mein we have to experiment by including numerous foods. Like a study, a practice was done in Karnataka. Karnataka, जो भी spelling है. So Karnataka tried to include eggs in the food, which increased the nutritional standard of the children. But the problem is, it became convoluted with the religion. A lot of people came who they say you are trying to convert these people by making them non-vegetarian. तो क्या कर सकते हैं उसका, तो ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए था, but that was very good for the children's health. I should have believed that should have continued. Anyway, so clear everyone, the solution we discussed, the issues, the background and the index. कोई भी issue हो please ask. चलिए, तो दिस इज द थिंग, बाकी तो यू कैन रीड नेक्स्ट न्यूज़ की बात करते हैं. This was recently, basically some student asked this question in base classes of mine, so that's why I covered this thing. Governor's pardoning power versus state pardoning power. Now you may think governor pardoning power, how could it be different from states? Because state is also there. Governor pardons on the recommendation of Council of Minister. अच्छा, यहाँ पे कोई है for whom the governor and president is not done in polity? President governor is not done in polity classes. अभी ना नहीं हुआ. Okay. तो देखिए थोड़ा सा मैं let me give you a brief background. Governor basically has the pardoning power under article, थोड़ा इसमें है आइडिया, अच्छा ऊपर ही लिखा हुआ है. About pardoning power of the governor 161. The governor of the state shall have the power to grant pardon, reprieve, despites, remissions of punishment, or to suspend, remit, or commute a sentence of any person convicted of any offense against any law, any person on the matter in which executive power of the state extends. Basically, it says under Article 161, the governor can pardon, means free a criminal. The governor can remit the sentence, basically commute the sentence from, for example, life imprisonment. Say you can commute to rigorous imprisonment, rigorous simple imprisonment, this kind of things. So we have different kind of mechanism that is there. Pardon means absolving everything, completely absolved. You are free to go home. Commutation means changing the type of punishment, changing the type. For example, changing the death penalty to life sentence or life imprisonment. That is called commutation. Reprieve means delays allowed in execution. For example, you are given death penalty and you are pregnant. You got pregnant in the between or whatever may be the case. In that case, the governor or anyone gives a reprieve. कुछ समय तक we will delay this until unless the delivery comes, or maybe you are too much ill, तो अभी नहीं कर सकते. ठीक है, respite में it means reducing the quantum or degree of punishment to a criminal given in some special circumstances. Same, for example, you got rigorous imprisonment. Rigorous imprisonment involve a lot of labor. But for example, you are pregnant or your mental condition is not good or physically challenged. In such circumstances, the rigorous imprisonment is unjust. उस केस में the president governor changes from rigorous to simple imprisonment. You will stay in prison but without any rigorous work. Last is remission. Remission में only quantum is changed. मतलब 20 साल की you got the punishment, it will substitute 10 years or 10 years to 5 years. Types, all different types are clear. Or the power of president and governor. सबको क्लियर है? ठीक है. अब आते हैं, let's complete the difference between the power of president and governor. The president exercise power under Article 72. You have to remember these articles. These are important. Governor under Article 161. The only difference that you have in governors and president power is court martials. That is military courts. A judgment given by these courts, like death penalty or anything, governor has no power on that. On that sentence, also governor has no power. The president is the only person who can pardon a death sentence and nobody else, not a governor. This is the problem. There was some news that in some state, people with death penalty were pardoned. Question came is how? When governor has no power under Article 161, then how come governor order can pardon somebody from that penalty or commute that penalty? That is the difference. Keep that in mind, that there are two different powers. The power that we are discussing, there are two different powers they are. The state power is different and governor's power is different. Governor's power is in under Article 161. The state power is under CRPC. Both are different powers. For technical, but you're getting the clarity that both are different powers. State has different power under CRPC, which also involves pardoning, the commission, and all things. Governor has different powers under Article 161. These are constitutional power. These are the legal power of the state. यहाँ तक बताइए, clear? ठीक है. So what are the difference? For example, look at this. Section 433 of CRPC. Not important. Do not remember the section. You are not a lawyer. ठीक है? You are just for polity student. Section याद मत रखिएगा. But I'm giving you just as an example. Only remember that the state pardoning powers are under CRPC. The governors under Article 161. But sufficient. I'm taking this as an example. So देखिए, under 433, the state government can reduce where the sentence of the imprisonment of life is imposed, but if life imprisonment is given, or you are put into prison for an offense for which death is also an option. Means you have life imprisonment, or you are in jail for an offense on which death can be given. मान लीजिए rape के case में you can also get death penalty. So that will be considered as this case. So in this case, if you have served for 14 years, in this case, if you have served for 14 years, then you can be freed. But this is the power of state government. Halaki, it is implemented by the order of the governor himself. Clear hai? The criteria is 14 years. अब difference समझते हैं. मान लेते हैं, let's take an example. A person commits a rape. That person is sent to prison. That person has two chances. Either he can go to 161 or he can go to CRPC. In 161, the governor can pardon that person next day itself. Means you are convicted on 11th. In 12th, using Article 161, you can be freed from jail. But under CRPC, you have to serve at least 14 years. Clear हो रहा सबको difference? Then only you can pardon. Can be pardoned. ठीक है. तो क्वेश्चन ही आता है, if anything comes in UPSC, अगर UPSC में क्वेश्चन comes, so what will be your stand if a statement comes? You will keep a stand that governor has no pardoning power for death penalty. Keep this clearly. आ गया. The stand that the statement if comes in UPSC, then you will stick to the statement that governor has no pardoning power over death penalty. ठीक है, this should be your statement. बाकी you understood the difference between both. बोले कोई क्वेश्चन है तो बताइए, then I will move to next. कोई तो बोला रिवाइज हो जाता है के बाद, ये करंट इवेंट है ये सर. ये मैंने लिखा ना सीआरपीसी रेफरेंस. सीआरपीसी में द गवर्नमेंट एक्ट बाय इटसेल्फ अंडर आर्टिकल 2 द रिस्पेक्टिव गवर्नमेंट एडवाइज द प्रेसिडेंट गवर्नर टू डोंट बोथ आर डिफरेंट पावर्स. चलिए, देयर इज नो क्वेश्चन, गवर्नमेंट इज राइटिंग समथिंग. मे बी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. देखिए ये तो इसका कोई क्लियर आंसर नहीं दे सकते हम, बिकॉज इट्स अप टू द विशेस ऑफ द पार्लियामेंट. इफ पार्लियामेंट वांटेड दे कुड ब्रिंग कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट टू अमेंड 161, और सीआरपीसी में दे कैन डू दिस. तो इसमें कोई ऐसा कोई डेफिनेट लॉजिक तो मुझे समझ नहीं आता. मे बी दे ट्राइंग टू डिस्टिंग्विश द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल पावर फ्रॉम द लीगल पावर, मे बी. बट इसमें कोई ऐसा नहीं है. दे कैन पुट अमेंड कर दीजिए कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, पर पार्लियामेंट पे डिपेंड करता है. हाँ, वन सेंस दैट आई कैन ड्राइव इज मे बी बिकॉज इट इज कॉन्करेंट पावर. हाँ, ये कुछ हो सकता है, ये सेंस थोड़ा बनता है. आई होप एवरीवन नोज दैट देयर आर इन शेड्यूल 7 देयर आर 3 लिस्ट. कौन कौन सी है? यूनियन, स्टेट एंड कंकरेंट. अब द थिंग इज इफ यू हैव सीआरपीसी कैन बी अमेंडेड. देखिए, एक है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में यू हैव 161, सीआरपीसी में 433A वाला. Of the question thing here is CRPC can be amended by states as well, but constitution can only be amended by union. So maybe this one of the cause. The state does not want to lose their power of amendability. They can change the provision by their wishes. तो ये भी एक रीजन हो सकता है. ठीक है, पर इसमें गारंटी नहीं कर सकते एक्चुअल रीजन क्या है. ये तो पॉलिटिकल रीजन ड्राइव हो रहा है. चलिए, तो मूव करते हैं नेक्स्ट. ये इंपॉर्टेंट है, वेरी 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 इंपॉर्टेंट. Why it is important? This is, हाँ, इसलिए हो सकता है दे आर नॉट ट्राइंग टू. 161 में एक बार चला गया तो देन ओनली पार्लियामेंट कैन चेंज. अभी तो सीआरपीसी में स्टेट कैन आल्सो चेंज. ओके, लेट्स कम टू सिक्योरिटी ऑफ टेन्योर वाला. सिक्योरिटी ऑफ टेन्योर ऑफ चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर. दिस इज समथिंग दैट इज गोइंग ऑन इन द न्यूज में आपने देखा होगा. अच्छा, चलो एक काम करते हैं, लेट्स हैव अ 10 मिनट्स ब्रेक. मैं थोड़ा थक गया. Cool everyone. After that we will do this news and the next news. Both are important. Why? For what, Shivani? Why break? Continue करें. चलो, everyone cool. Continue कर लेते हैं. कोई प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं किसी को? चलिए फिर कंटिन्यू करते हैं. Now let us come to a third news. The third news that we have is security of tenure of chief election commissioners. थोड़ा सा we have to understand democracy at this point of time. थोड़ा सा let me complete bottom. Democracy. थोड़ा सा we need to understand the democracy, how it works. Democracy is simple सा. देखिए, what is the logic? You, the people of India, you vote your MPs and MLAs in power. They in turn form the government. You do not directly vote your prime minister, the chief minister, or any minister for that matter. You vote your MPs and MLAs to form the government. What is this process? This process of recruiting, or you can say selection or election, whatever may be the case, by you, the MPs and MLAs, is known as election process. The responsibility over this election process is of Election Commission of India, ECI. And that is the case going on. Abhi ye case final nahi hai. Keep this in mind. This case is not final. It is still going on. Yesterday there was a hearing, and it is still going on. As soon as the final judgment comes, then I will again update in Saturday event what is the final judgment. Abhi this is not final. It is an ongoing case. So we are discussing that. So ECI में the thing is current initially ECI had only one election commissioner, but then we felt the need. Actually, what we did is we changed the age. Earlier, the age of voting was 21. Then we changed to the 18. Hmm. Uh, Initially, the age was 21. Then it was changed to the 18. So we felt that it is too much burden. They should be. We need to recruit more people. Ultimately, for a small duration, we recruited few. We expanded the commission. So it from one to it became three. Again, it became 1% commission. Later, finally, we made it a 3% commission. So currently, I can say Election Commission of India has three people. One is Chief Election Commissioner, other is Election Commission. That is two issues. The crucial difference among both is that Chief Election Commissioner can be removed like a judge of a Supreme Court. And how a judge of a Supreme Court is removed? First, most important word, remove. And impeachment. Can anyone tell me why I haven't used the word impeachment? Not why I'm saying remove, not impeach. बिल्कुल सही है. The reason is, always remember everyone, the word impeachment is used only for president in the constitution, because president is the top boss of the government and you cannot remove top boss. Top boss is impeached. Everyone else is removed. So remember, impeach word never used, because a lot of books use, a lot of books and online portals and all, they use the word impeachment for Supreme Court judges also, which is a wrong word. Impeachment is used only and only for president. Okay, please keep this in mind. So let's come back. CEC. CEC may you have the Supreme Court. They are removed like a judge of Supreme Court, and removal of judge of Supreme Court is a very strict process. You can understand the significance that so far not even a single judge has been removed from the position. Not even a single Supreme Court judge in 72 years of India's constitution has been removed in the Supreme Court. That's strict the processes. ECs can be removed on the recommendation of CEC. You can see from this thing that CEC enjoys security of tenure. These EC does not. And that's the debate going on. The two things being debated in the Supreme Court. One is this, that first, this CEC, these two ECs must also be allowed to have same security like the Supreme Court. Why this is? So that you become independent. Same logic, let me take an example. As an IAS, IPS, whatever you may become, as these officers, you have security of tenure. Why IAS and IPS were given security of tenure? So that you are not persuaded by the government. If you have no security of tenure, then you will become the pet of the government, because your entire position depends on government. You will be less faithful to the people. You will be dependent to the politician. You will become the personal pets of the politician. That's why you were given security of tenure. Same things go here. We have given such strong security of tenure to the Election Commission of India, so that this commission, because this commission has the biggest responsibility in India to ensure a free and fair election process. It has to ensure that a government in power does not constrain or does not suffocate India's democracy by using its police and everything. That's why Election Commission becomes the most powerful body. Most powerful body in India, if there is anyone after Supreme Court, it is Election Commission. This issue is clear. Please tell me. Point number one. ठीक है. अब आते हैं point number two. Point number two that we have to take is appointment. Currently, the appointment of ECs and CECs is done in a simple manner. The Prime Minister recommends to the President, and the President appoints the ECs. And often, not always, often the ECs, who is the senior, promoted to Cs. Often, again I am saying often, not always. It is not a strict criteria that you have to promote them. But largely government promotes one of the ECs to CEC and new EC is appointed. Largely it happens. This is the problem. This CEC is appointed on the recommendation of Prime Minister and Prime Minister is in the government. So the CEC becomes subservient to the government. And that is being debated in the Supreme Court, that in between the government and the CEC, who is very, very, very important to ensure free and fair election, we should have a mediator, and that mediator is collegium. A collegium comprised of Prime Minister, Chief Justice of India, and leader of opposition. Prime Minister, Chief Justice of India, and leader of opposition shall be in the collegium. They should select the election commissioners. Because of this, there will be a layer in between. We can ensure that the election commissioners are not the favorites of the Prime Minister. Because otherwise, Prime Minister can appoint anyone who he likes. And same is the problem in case of CAG. Comptroller and Auditor General. They are also appointed by President at the recommendation of Prime Minister. And what is the problem? That most of the time, government appoints a CAG who is their favorite. जो पसंद है उसे appoint करते हैं. और ऐसा CAG किसी काम का नहीं. At this point, very important line of governance. Please remember everyone. Independent institutions serves you. You means the people. Dependent institutions serves the government. हमेशा याद रखिएगा, independent institutions serves the people. Dependent institutions serves the government. And that is why if you want to know that whether you are living in a democracy or dictatorship, see this. Which government, Prime Minister, Chief Ministers, which government is capturing the institution? Any government that captures the institution is not good for the people. चाहे कुछ भी हो, कोई भी हो, चाहे इंदिरा गांधी हो, चाहे कोई भी.